Imagine, if you will, a conversation that's unfolding naturally, as though you're listening to an old friend share something important, something you'd never forget. You might not even realise the subtle cues they offer, the seemingly innocent words they're designed to open your mind to new possibilities. It's as if the words themselves have a special power, a power to guide your thinking, to create new connections. Let me share with you a simple metaphor. Consider the way a river flows. At first it's just a trickle, almost unnoticeable. But the more you pay attention, the more you realise beneath the surface, the water is carving pathways, making decisions you didn't even see. And that's exactly how beliefs work, how your mind works. It's constantly creating paths, shaping your understanding. Yet sometimes all it takes is a small ripple, a moment where everything shifts to redirect that flow. In that moment, your brain has a choice, a pattern interruption. Imagine it like a moment where the sky opens, just for a split second, and something new enters. In this moment, so tiny, so quick, but immensely powerful, in that moment, you can inject new thoughts, new ideas, without them even realising it. You see, the power of the pattern interrupt, it's subtlety. It's like you're in the middle of a conversation, maybe discussing something, when suddenly you say, that reminds me of a friend of mine. And in that moment, their attention is gently redirected. It's like you've created a space where you can guide their thinking, without them even being aware of it. You might share a story about someone else, who once thought they were going to do something, like sell their house, until something unexpected happened, something that changed everything. And that's when they might start to see things a bit differently. When you create a story, a possibility, a subtle shift. For example, imagine someone who believed they were going to sell their house until they got more money for it, only for the market to crash, a twist, a surprising outcome, and suddenly they see the potential consequences of staying stuck in that belief. You showed them a different way, an alternative outcome, a pathway that was always available but hidden in plain sight. What if I could show you something even more powerful? Something that could help you make a decision faster, more effortlessly. Imagine you had the ability to understand what's really important to someone, the hidden criteria that drives them. Now consider this. If someone truly values their time, their energy, their relationships, what happens when they realise it's not just about having one thing, it's about having both? What if I could show you how to ask the right questions, the ones that make them dig deeper into their own beliefs? What makes you believe that? What would happen if you could have both? These questions, simple yet profound, they help to open a doorway to a new way of thinking. They allow for the possibility that what they thought was true might not be the whole story. You might also begin to see how we use generalizations, deletions, and distortions in everyday language. People often think in patterns, big sweeping statements, distortions of reality, and beliefs shaped by experience. But to change something, to create something new, you only need one small example that changes their belief. Just one instance where their generalization doesn't hold true, and suddenly the entire structure begins to crumble. Think about it this way. How does one little event, one small shift, lead to such a massive change? You've seen it before, how people make mountains out of molehills. It's like that moment when someone takes a minor inconvenience and turns it into a major disaster. But what if you could take that same issue, shrink it down to the smallest part, and then make it so much bigger? By showing someone the full ramification of their thinking, you help them to see things differently. The beauty of this process is in the sequence. Once you master one technique, it's like unlocking a new pattern, and then another and another. It's the flow of mastery, the effortless integration of one tool after another. It's like building a muscle that grows stronger the more you use it. At first, it might feel like you're learning new skills, but eventually it becomes second nature. And that's the key, building your ability to navigate these patterns with ease, shifting perspective and beliefs in a way that creates new possibilities. And as you step into this flow, you begin to see how different techniques work together, how chunking up, chunking down, and the strategic use of language patterns, they allow you to craft your own reality, to help others to craft theirs. So imagine what would happen if you could understand not just the surface level of a conversation, but the deep structure behind it, the criteria that drives each decision. Because everyone has their own unique map of the world, their own internal hierarchy of values. What's important to them might not be what's important to you. And yet there's always room to connect, to find common ground. Whether it's love, money, time, success. By understanding what matters most to someone, you can guide them to a decision that resonates with their deepest values. In the end, it's not about convincing anyone of anything. It's about showing them a new path, a new way of seeing things that aligns with their deepest beliefs. And that's where true influence lies. Not in selling a story, but in inviting others to see their own potential, to recognise the choices that are always available to them.